Hello, my name is Mark and I can't do pull-ups. Like the beginning of some kind of an AA meeting or something like that. Maybe we should start a support club. In fact, that's just what this is. It's ideas of how to get better at doing pull-ups if you're not very good at pull-ups, and they are my nemesis. I'm terrible at them. So I'll talk about what I've already tried, what I'm trying now, my last chance, I think, and then maybe some of my advice will help you. It might save you wasting time as I have and get you straight to what will help you to do them as well as possible. Let's go. I could be quite miserable about my pull-up performance. It's not got very much better. I've been able to do reliably 7 like this, 10 like this, and I am better at doing them like this. So I'm sure it would consistently be better. When I first tried to do them, a few years ago now, for the first time since I was younger, I went to a pull-up stand in a park and I did, I think it was 2.5. I have got better than that, but I should be getting better still, I think, given how long I've been doing them. And I've made more progress with squatting, bench press, although that's a bit poor, and deadlifting than I have with pull-ups. It's no good, don't like it. Let's look at what I first did, and this is the basic thing. Approach number 1. You get on the bar, you do as many as you can until you can't do any more, then you have a break and then you do some more. Incidentally, I always do them pronated and then supinated. I just have to. There's such different exercises. You can't say you're covering everything that pull-ups develops if you just do one of those. Of course, there'd be neutral grip, other things like that. So I'm not doing everything possible, but I think to do them fairly wide like this and then fairly narrow like this, I think that covers pretty much everything. And it's good for your upper back and your shoulders. Right, so to start with, I would just do as many as I could. I got up to doing 7, occasionally an 8 like that, but there wasn't much progress, and it would usually be something like, say, 7, then 5, then 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, stopping. At one point, I was doing a lot of sets. I would sometimes do 10 of each, so a total of 20 sets of pull-ups. So I was working hard, but not getting better. And then you hear people talking about junk sets, about doing work that you're counting but isn't really affecting your muscles in a very good way, and I think I was doing that. So then what I started to do, based on some of these videos online, but lots of people suggest what you can do with pull-ups. It's not an area that one person covers in particular. I heard that it's a good idea. This was from, for what it's worth, so there's no plagiarism, a person called Jeremy Ethier. But loads of other people have made the suggestion as well. It suggested that you just take a number that you can do fairly well and just do as many sets as you can, not going above or below. I started doing that for a good year or so, and I'd start off just doing lots of sets of 3, then 4s, then could fairly reliably do 5s, although I seem to have slipped back a little bit since then. And that wasn't enough, wasn't making much progress, so the third approach I tried was increasing the frequency, and usually I would have a day focused around squatting, bench pressing, then pull-ups, and then deadlifting. And now I've changed it so I also have pull-ups on the first day. Doesn't always go in 5 consecutive days. Sometimes I might do day 1, 2, 3, then have a little bit of a break, especially if the legs are a bit sore and I need more time before deadlifting. But I try to make it 5 days in a row. Not as successful as I would like to some of the time. Anyway, I added that extra day in, and I've been doing that for 6 months or so. Still don't think I'm improving. Worst of all though, earlier this year, a few months ago, I tried doing the old challenge 100 press-ups, sit-ups, squats and pull-ups, and previously when I did that a few years ago, I did a total of 75 pull-ups over many sets. This time I only did 51, and that's worse. It's clearly worse. Don't know why. Bit disappointed with that. So now I'm trying one more thing that I haven't done. I don't do really bad pull-ups. The man is a better athlete than me in every way possible. But recently saw Eddie Hall with Magnus Midbow doing something for the British Army, and he had to do 3 pull-ups, and I don't remember the first 2, they weren't all that good, but the third one, the bar went to here, and that's not a pull-up. He knows it's not a pull-up. They were still doing the challenge anyway. It's not a criticism, but it's just saying there's different levels of pull-ups. I do this every single time. Just, again, far better athlete than me. He's one of the best. I'm glad to see that Tom Aspinall's getting recognition now. And he was doing some pull-ups, and he was going to here, and that's it. Well, I have to do that. Have to do that every single time. It's just the way I do. So the point being, I'm not doing bad pull-ups necessarily, but then on the day when I tried that challenge where I only did 51, I was only going about as low as this, and that's not quite right. All the way up, but not as low as you should. Now, what I'm going to do, and it's not where I got the idea from. It's something I was going to try anyway, but I have not that long ago seen Mike Israel mentioning doing them as slow as you can. He was talking about trying to do pull-ups over 2 minutes and see how that feels. Seems like a good idea. I'm not doing that yet, but I'm doing them far more completely than before. And also I'm changing one other thing, that is doing some pull-ups with weights, and I thought that would be a new approach for me to try. A lot of people would say if you're not very good at pull-ups, do them with assistance, do them with bands or something else. Thing is, I think if you can do 7, then you can do enough to develop the movement. So something else is wrong. In theory, doing them very slowly means doing more to develop and to work the muscles involved, even if you do fewer repetitions in total. And that's what's important for me, because I'm not very good at them, haven't seen improvements. I found myself hating pull-ups, and indeed I've developed a habit that anyone who watches many of my videos would see, where I tend to do this, and then I take a moment, 15-20 seconds before I go and start, as if I'm trying to really build myself up, and then that creates tension and anxiety about pull-ups, and that's no good. Exercise has to be fun, and what I've done here is found a way to make it fun again for me, because even if I can't do very many, I can just go really, really slowly, can feel that work in the muscles every step of the way, and I'd prefer that. So rather than going along and thinking, all right, how many will I do, might only be 4, disappointing, I'm not even trying for a high number. I'm just doing them as slowly and thoroughly as possible. Then I'm also doing a few with a weight. I'm just using a 10 kilo weight vest, but I've taken 5 kilos out of it. So this is just adding about 5.6 kilos. I have weighed it to check. And it's going to be slow, but I will increase the weight over time. And the theory is, after 6 months of doing very slow pull-ups, hopefully after a month, most of them will be weighted. Then I'll have a try at doing pull-ups normally, and I'll find that 10 is no problem. This is a theory. It's what's going to be put to the test. So it's taken the anxiety away, and it is working the muscles effectively. I was looking at my sheet. The most I've done so far, very slow, is 4, and I tend to start doing 1, then 2, then 3, then try to do a few more. And then after I've done, you probably can't really see it, but after I've done 4 sets, then I'll do some with the weight vest on. And the most I've done with the weight vest on is 2, that's it. But then I'll do a couple of sets of it. So I'm trying to work really thoroughly, hoping that gets me better at pull-ups. It's taken away the stress and anxiety of sitting there thinking, right, can I do 7 this time? I'm not worrying about it now. I'm just making sure I'm really giving the muscles a good beating. And when it comes to squatting and bench pressing, I would not dream of bench pressing and going, I just wouldn't do it. So I have been doing pull-ups less carefully than I'll do other compound lifts. And that's silly, really. Right, let's just have a look then. I'm going to be careful, because when I'm facing this way on my pull-up bar, I tend to bang my head, so I'll be very slow. Just do 1 of each now. I've never been somebody who starts and sort of springs into the air while doing it. In fact, I've always gone to do a pull-up and I'll go up a bit and down, but now I'm hanging, and that's it. You can't see here, but my feet are off the ground. Hang for a bit, deep breath. One, chin right over the bar, and down. And that's one pull-up. And it feels good. You really feel it around here. It's much better than doing them fast, I think. Partly I'm hiding from something that worries me. I don't like the low quantity, so I'm taking quantity out of the equation. I'm not just doing one. That's to start off with. I don't do pull downs beforehand. I have. Didn't seem to help me very much. Do need to be warmed up, so I'll spend at least 5 minutes, but more like 10 minutes of moving, rotating like this, flinging the arms, and doing some stuff from the biceps as well. Even if you had no time for anything else, you could just spend 5 minutes at the heavy bag, not punching realistically, but punching so you really emphasize the hit on the muscles. You should do something. So I don't go and do pull-ups cold, but I don't do pull downs beforehand. Anyway, now the other way around, and always first down, and my legs are lifted up. Hang for a moment, deep breath, nice and slow, chin above the bar, hit the head just there, and down. And now I put my feet down. That's, nobody can argue that that's not as full a pull-up as you can do. Will it help me to do a better job of them? I hope so. I think so. I haven't had any testing yet. The way to do it would be to try to do a few quick ones, and I'm not going to do that yet, but I will in time. I'm pretty sure it's going to do something. Now that's just note down the singles. I write down everything I do, and it is useful later on because you wonder what you did in the previous week, the previous month, the previous year, and you can find out and you can check to see if you're improving or not. I will, before going, just see how I do with the vest on. Let's remove the camera, the microphone. Look rather official in this. Absolutely perfect. Right then, to go higher than 10 kilos, the maximum this will usually take, I would need to get a belt and do it properly, but I'm that bad at pull-ups, just doing them with 5 kilos. I don't need it at the moment. What I try to do with these slow pull-ups is when I'm coming down, feel if I'm ready for the next one, and if I'm not going to do a full, slow, complete one, I normally won't. That said, a couple of times recently, if I'm doing these and I'm worse at, if I stall a bit here, I will let myself stop, have one final pull to get the chin over, and then go down slowly. And it's still working the muscles well, so I don't think it counts as a junk repetition in particular. It'll be embarrassing if I can't even do one of these now. I don't feel all that well recovered from deadlifting, overhead pressing just a couple of days ago. But let's see. Right then, ready, and hang. Complete hang, take a breath, chin over, down slowly, and have I got one more in me? Only just, and down slowly. Little bit slow on the second one going up. I couldn't have done the third then, definitely not, unfortunately. But I think I'm going the right way about getting better at them. I will rest just a moment before I do the other kind. It's cooling down nicely today. We've had days of over 30 degrees C, and today it's about 20. When it's very hot and I exercise, I dip my head in a bucket. It's not actually a bucket, it's a bigger tub, but it's the only thing you can do. I can't exercise hard when I'm that hot. Can't do it. I tried 2022 hottest summer we've had in my memory, and really stupid. I was trying to make a brief video before I made anything for YouTube, but I was toying with the idea of it, and I had a hooded top on, and I was very hot, and I had some sort of heat exhaustion. I had to stop. I was trying to do what I call a gauntlet training with a bit of running, a bit of moving. I'll do one of those soon. I wanted to do it in my last deload period, didn't get around to it because doing the 100 sit-ups, pull-ups, squats, press-ups, or failing with the pull-ups really took it out of me. So especially the abdomen, because I hadn't done sit-ups for a long time then. So I didn't fit it in, but I want to do one before the weather really turns. Anyway, I started with one of those, got 2 minutes in, and I had to go and sit down over there, and it wasn't dizziness, it was something else. It felt very unpleasant, something sort of in my head, not quite a headache. I'm careful in the heat now, don't let myself get too hot. Right then, enough talking. Let's see. These should be just a little easier for me than the pronated. Okay, so in position, now hang. Okay, complete hang, deep breath, and slowly chin over and down. Still hanging, deep breath, and slowly chin over and down. And that's how it is now. Every pull-up I'm going to do is going to be just like that, with or without the weight vest. I'm only up to 4s without the vest. See what it does for me. If in 6 months' time I haven't got better, where I would like to be able to reliably do 10 either way without it being the maximum I can possibly do, then what? Then I'll have to give up on trying to get good at them, and I'll just use them to develop the body, which is I suppose what I'm doing now, but I still do have the hope of improving. Who knows if I will or not. That's it then. Pull-ups, my nemesis. Maybe they're yours too. If you get any ideas, anything I've missed on how to get better at them, please do let me know. That's it then. In the middle of a good program at the moment. I want to do some more things with swords. It's a bit funny really, because I think sometimes that I make a sword video, some people like it, I get a few subscribers, then I make a martial arts video, I lose some of those subscribers, and the other way around. I know it's a tall order, trying to have 3 different subjects: martial arts, lifting, and medieval weaponry. It's I'm sure anyone who knows about YouTube would say forget it, it's never going to work. I'm enjoying making videos soon still, so I'll carry on. I have sometimes realised once or twice I've let my schedule of exercise slip because of making videos, so that could halt things, who knows. But I've got some good friends from doing it, I've had some good advice from people, and there's some idiots online, no doubt about it. I have had a few people try to upset me. Well, they don't know that I was using the internet probably before they were born, and it wasn't regulated in any way. There was no moderation, so I'm a bit too old and ugly for that. But what is important is there's been some people who have helped me, there have been some people who make me laugh, there have been some really good comments, and it's a great way, in a way, to connect with other people through exercise. There's a few people, let me mention Silverback Strength, great bloke, older than me, stronger than me. He's an inspiration to me, and if you type Silverback Strength, I'm sure you'd find his videos. It's really good stuff, it's inspiring, and when you exercise almost exclusively, mostly alone as I do, it's a really good way to share things with other people. So I'm going to keep making videos, that's a long way of saying that, as far as I know. And that's it then for this one, my last attempt at getting better at pull-ups. Let's see if it works. Thanks for watching, cheers.